What it is, everyone. It is, once again, since this will be released on my gaming channel, it is your boy, Calabris Gaming. Welcome. Welcome to this video. I've I've heard news of YouTube and other social medias targeting conservatives. I really originally when I heard this I was kind of mixed and I was kind of skeptical when I first heard. But however, I've been affected by this too. Notifications for my favorite YouTubers are getting delayed by as much as a day. Normally it's 6 minutes after, and that's when the notification hits. But it's been taking at least an hour or so, which I believe is a horrible excuse for discrimination, calling it a technical error. I'd like to see YouTube trying to explain themselves and why I'm not getting my notifications on time despite me having notifications turned on. I know I haven't been typing in and recording my spiritual vlogs as I feel like I'm supposed to. Once again, I have some actually recorded, but I accidentally said the name of an STD by accident, thinking I actually did not know it existed until I looked up the word, and it was an STD that that got in my head somehow, and I realized it actually tied back to something I did in school like years ago, back in 7th grade when I was learning about pathogens. Yeah, and in the spiritual log, I was talking about the name of something that I've heard of before that might be significant to a dream I had. I never released a video, and I do not want to, in the fear of getting everyone triggered that I said the SCD as like an angel or something. I just want to get that out of the way before I continue on. So, how this affected me was, okay, let me go back to when it first started happening. At first, it was just notifications basically being blocked for some reason, despite me having the notifications turned on. So, and then later on, after the firing of not the firing, but after the deletion of Donald Trump's Twitter account, is when it all began to turn south, and I kind of predicted it because someone on their way out, angry about their life, hey, wouldn't mind either playing a bad prank or starting a war by deleting a popular politician's like Twitter account. To me, it was to me now that I found out this word that conservatives like me are being targeted for just being free. It just made me think differently, which is not what I like to do. I like to say everyone had a good intent, or at least a will to not be inflammatory. But that went too far. So I'm making this video now to voice my disgust that YouTube and other social medias are discriminating, just like they claimed we did, or as we Southerners did back then and when. I say we Southerners because I happen to be from the South. Okay, I happen to be from the Gibraltar of the South. The last state that was needed to split the Confederacy, the state of good old MS that the river was named after. And it's kind of tough living under the expectations by a society that you're racist. I am not racist. I can show you a whole string of my comments on stuff that the Huffington Post has literally posted, and I'll be basically disproving their points here or there out without prejudice at all. Like, I don't discriminate when I dismantle something. I'm nitpicky of sorts in a way. But anyway, my friend Sufalot, who we're thinking of trying to start a group that's like NATO of sorts, but it's to protect people who get bullied. And we don't care who the bully is, even if it's a big company. We'll stand up against them. Simple. Not by lawsuit, we shall by protest. The people together can, once they come together, if they boycott, then all the companies shall fall to whoever they target. As simple as that. Now, going back to my friend. My friend is my vice of sorts. He's literally my vice president in this group we're starting, this anti-bullying group we're starting, and he was locked out of his Twitter account. And he told me he wouldn't be surprised if they deleted it. I wished it was just a real mess up, but when I heard that Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube were targeting conservatives like me and him, that got my blood boiling. Okay, I don't cuss. I don't like cussing. I don't ever want to do it. I know the words, so I don't have to use them like like I should as if I was Bilbo Baggins from Hobbit. But it's gotta stop. They're only shaking the hive. They're only shaking the hive that's called the free people's will. We are free. We don't let anything bother us. No matter if it's racist, no matter if it's sexist. We only wish to say what we want to say, and that is all. We don't care if their words are racist against us, but what we do care about is getting attacked, lives threatened, and reputations tarnished by a brainwashed society that can't think for themselves. Simple as that. Many servers I have seen on platforms like Discord are just like this. Someone goes attacking, the rest will come out and be like a shark attack, and where we'll tear them up, basically, if they attack just one of us. If they dare attack us with one of their needles, we shall bring our big guns, brute shots out, and we shall take them down together. This is getting bad now, where they're getting discriminatory. Okay, I'm somewhat okay with the censorship, but once again, letting certain people or things break these rules because they're either good friends or they're trusted news sources, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. YouTube is supposed to be about the people, not the news medias. In fact, someone who worked with YouTube actually said themselves that we don't ban the news companies because they're legit news sources. How are they news sources when half of them can't even keep an unbiased opinion, an unbiased thought? Seriously, we are losing professional journalists because of unprofessional acts and deeds that are instinctual to us. The greatest artists basically broke convention. The greatest artists and the greatest, if not of the worst, too. Taking inspiration from many cultures to do your thing. You know who did that? First off, Napoleon did that, and later on took off that method was none other than the guy of the Holocaust himself, Adolf Hitler. He took the concept of manifest destiny for the resolve of his Holocaust, and he took the Soviets' concentration camp-esque gulags, and that's what he used to basically make the concentration camps, the camps of death. By no means do I actually support any kind of violence against a race, against an ethnicity, none of that. If any of them, especially go on my own members because of this, they might as well just disturb me and my entire hive, because I will have no mercy and I'll show no mercy. Hands off, that's what I say. Hands off us, or we will be resorted to fight claw to eye, because we don't take any of that. We don't take any of that bull. Alright? Now, yeah, I'm getting quite tired of this, and actually, I did not actually post a video that said I'm not going to reveal who I am on my political channel, But, nah, bah, why not? Why not reveal myself? Because the time seems fitting enough. So, yes, before I go into the shameless plug, as I don't like doing that despite it being somewhat necessary, I don't like that, okay? I have something quite a bit against that, despite it being a necessary evil. Kind of like a certain institution that was screwed up by capitalism, don't you think? Right. So, before we get into that, it's gotten pretty bad. It has gotten very bad. If I had a reaction channel, that's what I'd be doing right now, is reacting to these videos, showing them my opinion through my own way by reaction. But because of these copyright issues, and apparently anything political being demonetized because you're simply being yourself and you won't let anyone change that, it's just no. I mean, the 5th, people stopped watching YouTube on the 5th of November, and that made YouTube retaliate. You see, we are hurting YouTube by not watching YouTube. I'm only putting this out here because I feel we should stage another Greensboro, or another Greenboro sitting. We'll do it again. Everyone shall make content that will be against YouTube censorship, and they'll demonetize. And if they dare copyright claim any of our videos, we shall fight back with the ferocity of bears. I am tired of being oppressed for just what I think. You know? I don't like grouping, but yet this is an instinct and a necessity by the law of instinct and philosophy. You know, if I gotta stay safe, I gotta stay safe no matter what. And even if that is prejudice, then that's gotta be what it takes. Now, I don't like grouping, but I just lost my train of thought trying to cover up for myself here. Hashtag not intended. I just have a ton of disgust for YouTube right now. You know, I liked it when they were for the people. This reminds me of a story my dad told me about when he begun his profession in the eyeglass business. About this small company once called Essilor. My aunt, who died of breast cancer, which, screw breast cancer, screw any cancer of any kind, honestly. I can't wait until we remove all the blockades that prevent all the cures. Because screw cancer, screw the people who make money off of our suffering because they don't want to find a bloody cure. You know, it's just like monopolizing anti-venom and making it cost for a single vial $100,000 for a single vial, in which you need 15 to cure a snake bite. Yeah, it's just greed. And of course, my aunt, my dad's sister, who by the way of my siblings, I was the only one who met her. My aunt, before she died of breast cancer, she supported this small company called Essilor. She told all the other small dad and mom and pop eyeglass stores to support them because they were for the small businesses. But as soon as they got that taste of power, that taste of the corruption of capital, the taste of what it feels to be a clergy of the corruption of money, of currency, of greed, they have suddenly become a bunch of gluttons. They bought lab after lab, and then they went until they had almost an entire monopoly on everyone. Almost a monopoly. So then everyone said don't support Essilor anymore because they were for the big businesses only. And they're coming with some of the worst tactics to basically keep people under their wing ever. I was listening to it day by day every summer, and I had to live with it whether I liked it or not. And I learned something from that. They don't care if they bring the people their suffering, for as long as no one knows of their transgressions, and as long as no one decides to boycott, they are fine. And you see, that is what YouTube is trying to do right now, suppressing us. I won't vie for it anymore. So now, plugging in my political channel, I have started this anti-bullying group, not only to prove a point, but also now, to stop the oppressions we have done to us by the real enemy, not ourselves, mind you, but the clergy of the real corruption, the fat cats who dare make the people suffer just so they can have their limousines, their manners, their gold. To swear their brow they probably gotten good at first and then ill-gained later, for they have tasted too much power. By no means do I support communism, but to me there is a good in-between. To me, the most people should be happy, and that's what utilitarianism basically is. Where the government should work to only benefit the people, and the fat cats can produce as much as they need, but if they go as far as to make a single person unhappy, they should immediately be sunken for their treason. And that's what I personally think, in my opinion. It might be different for everyone else here. But now they just messed up. Now, going back to spirituality, I kind of learned a little more about myself as time went on. Granted, I'm still not sure about my zodiac because I have 2 tentacle birth dates because I was due one day, but 3 months earlier I came out because I broke my own umbilical cord and became a literal miracle of seemingly God himself. Not saying I'm bad or anything, but I'm just trying to compare to instill a feeling of what can be felt if someone would observe the story of my early life as a child. Less than 24 hours out of the womb, and I had surgery done to myself. I defied death many times, and I simply couldn't feel pain. Luckily, I got my sense of pain back, which I'm glad for, despite it being still a bit of a love-hate relationship. So, yeah, and then I also learned that I was a pretty old soul, like a very old soul. If you ever believe in reincarnation, then I've been reincarnated more times than a lot of other souls. And not only that, because I'm around, that I'm probably one of the few old souls who still linger within the 3rd dimension, looking for people to inspire, looking for people to change, looking to do the right thing. We feel it is our mission to do so, and we feel all feel commissioned. We defy love, and we defy it all. I was born with an illness in which I cannot feel love. Yet I can somehow defy this, because my brain is strong. The brain is powerful. If you set your mind to it, you can do anything imaginable, despite the circumstances. If you want to be healthy without going vegan, you can do so. You can find a way to remove all those halogens from the meats that they give to the plants that the animals eat in turn, that then make it to us to defy and brain sand our pineal glands. But I think they just messed with the wrong person who takes learning to heart and will use knowledge in almost any reason, if not just to benefit thyself. All the founding fathers, of the United States of America. They were alchemists. They dared use thought and experimentation to make a better life for everyone. Everyone, they say. Now, from what I noticed of the fat cats who were actually good, like good people, and they tried donating the cherries and such, I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. To me, charity should be a choice, but not so much of a choice to where you would get a tax write-off, you know? You should not, to me, you shouldn't get a tax write-off for just donating to charity. Because, hey, we rich people, not rich people, but we middle class and poor people don't get diddly squat for donating at all. You should notice that by now. That the loopholes are meant to basically let the rich people be rich and the poor be poor. But social Darwinism at this point, that has taken its toll. I know this is getting long. So I have started this server I call the Union. Ironically, even though I did not name it just because, but ironically I just learned that at least 30 of the states in the Union are actually wanting to leave the Union. Something that on a small catastrophe or scale could cause the Civil War, happening on a larger scale because the federal government is too big and they are not doing their jobs. You know? Sorry. I still got a little mold in my lungs, so I'm getting much better. Much better about it. I feel like I'm getting this cough because they know I talk too much, and that's their way of silencing me. But once again, that's just speculation, to the point of like InfoWars speculation. So I'm not even gonna go there with it. So, yeah. I do not like it at all. So I guess this could count for a bit of a spiritual vlog, but not much to where I would have to name it that, despite it being slightly misleading. So today, how is your day, everyone? How was your day, guys? I know mine was good. When I got home, I just met someone, or actually talked with someone who was in my classroom. Let me see. Do I actually share a class with them? Nah, I don't. But I went shared a class with them last year in school in biology, and we both found a particular interest in spirituality. Today, almost a year later, and we're willing to meditate side by side as one. She only told me this: please don't not laugh. Do not laugh when I try telling you this. But I think she had an encounter that has something to do with me. You know? Because basically she met this entity in the middle of the night. It basically dragged her out of bed. It was some kind of spirit, if not an invisible entity of sorts, with a really deep voice. It basically spoke to her. I know what you want and I know who you are. Meet me on the next full moon. That's what it said. Now, when I decided to check when that is so I could help her prepare, it was on my birthday. On the day of my birth. Not my due date, but the date of my birth. The date that would make me a Sagittarius. A Centurion. One of accuracy. So I went in and told her about it, and I thought, what could this entail? And the first thing she thought was, it has something to do with me. You know, and as I kind of thought about it over the time I had to think about it for like 2 weeks ago, a lot had happened. A lot happened to where I wasn't recording. This may sound like a stretch, but I met a member of the Illuminati. on the GOP Discord server. Me and him were having quite a talk. I was requesting like high security information, and he said I couldn't do it, and he told me I wasn't a member, despite for a lot of former members saying that to be in the Illuminati, you would, if not by direct bloodline, you could be in the Illuminati if a family member was in the Illuminati, or if you have a relative in the job of lawyer, banker, or government, in which two of the three are actually when I have relatives that go in. I'm not going to specify as that's too revealing at this point. I told a few others, and Lord willing, if you ask them, will they actually answer that to you? Sorry, it's getting a little bad. Yeah, I can't talk too much. So I asked them if there was any dimensional disturbances to see what was going on, because I live in a pretty weird area, and weird stuff has been going on lately. Because after I actually heard about her incident of spirituality, I kind of wanted to see if there was something going on with our area. He said there was a map. That he had a map, and he didn't want me to tell the neighborhood I was in, but it goes to immediately what I actually suspected years ago, back when I first woke up from my long slumber in the naivety called bliss. And that was that I lived in an area with some kind of anomaly, because the wind would at the most weird occasions start blowing, and later on because I tend to have a lack of knowledge in this, I began first interpreting one way and then to another, because I was a high Christian and my father told me that God talks to the winds. I originally thought it was God talking to me, the literal God himself of Christianity talking to me, or as the Muslims would call Allah, or as the Jewish would call simply the Lord. So, yeah, and then of course it later on got to the point of when I finally started learning about spirit guides after hearing about them years ago, and some kind of of Ghibli movie I once watched. I forgot which one it was, because I watched a lot of Ghibli's movies, a lot of the Ghibli studio movies, or the Ghibli. Doesn't matter what you say, because I say Deku, you say Deku, But basically, then I started interpreting the wind as a way for any sort of deity to talk to me, if not spirit guide, and I'll spare the rest of what I thought, because it kind of goes into deep speculation. But once I heard that that possibly the Illuminati had a map of dimensional disturbances, I then decided to use my intuition to fill in the gaps. Whether or not I'm wrong, that'll be up for you guys to decide. If I am dare be challenged, because I'd rather think this is wrong, but to my intuition, whether or not this is my opinion or not, I am the source of it. Because one question I did ask this member of the Illuminati who had level 2 clearance was basically, is there any anomalies that have a moving core or source, like legit moving every day? And he did not disclose. He did not disclose which specific ones, but he said there are a few of those on the map of Mississippi. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's quite weird, really. Then after that entire encounter, I decided I would try and watch some YouTube videos, and of course, something was going on with the internet. Something was going on with Chrome, and then of course I had to go to Firefox temporarily to fix the issue. But once again, I have a history of knowing that outside sources are trying to jam me or trying to slow my advance. to getting more knowledge, because they know that, and even to my philosophy, knowledge is power, and so shall the responsibilities we must bear with the given power. In fact, after I joined my first political server around August, the schools immediately began banning Discord on the laptops that they issue to the students for no reason. And for a while, I actually had to do a little hacking so I could basically temporarily unrestrict the Discord usage. Because I have the Discord app, it can open, because in my applications folder, I don't need any admin password, but the window never opens. Like, I can literally just click on it now. I'm clicking on it now, and the logo's bouncing, and it's never opening, despite it temporarily going off the OBS window for a moment. So I know that they're trying to jam me for something. They're trying to jam me, and then of course I had a bit of a dispute with my English teacher, and that's what kind of got me going against the anti-bureaucracy talk, because I kind of don't like bureaucracies, because they force people to do stuff that may or may not be right or to the interest of the students. And then of course I watched a few videos upon the problems with the education system, and that's where I saw my beliefs reassured right in front of me. I kind of gotten tired of YouTube trying to stop and censor stuff. YouTube, if you are out there, stop it. It is getting old. I don't play games. And if you dare try to silence me in any other unconstitutional way, then if I survive, you will be exposed, and you might as well fall to your knees crumbled. Okay, no violence, just protest, just boycotting. The only thing you could talk to is yourselves in your echo chambers of bureaucrats. For I am tired of this heresy. Yet you claim to be for free speech, yet you censor at every turn for that family friendliness. Screw you and your advertisers. You know what? Draw a pyramid. Draw us on the bottom and the rest of you on top. And then imagine, with no gravity, removing the people from the bottom. And then return on gravity again. And watch as your regimes topple, grumble, and fumble. This is all what's been taking up politics lately. Oh, they're trying to censor us now. Oh, wait, not now. Oh, wait, now they are doing it again. I'm getting tired of this. When are they gonna stop? Let me ask. When are they going to stop? I hate this. I legit do not like using the word hate, but I'm getting to the point where I feel like I must. Because I feel worried about my friends, about my brothers, about my sisters, who suffer for dare speaking their mind. I be considered, because I am sure about my gender, I'm sure that I'm white, and I'm sure that I'm a male, I'd be the worst enemy to them. Or at least to a certain group of people that I'd rather not group or call right now, not singling anyone out. And then, of course, that's by body, by physical body, by the cover that they judge me by. What they judge me by is but the cover, for they know not my mind and my mental psyche. But on the inside, I too am a victim caught within the deepest of crossfires, forced to take either side, forced to observe to where the heresies that were not meant to be seen by the normal populace. My mind is but one of autism. The show called Good Doctor, the doctor himself, the good doctor, the guy, he, me, we have autism. We all have autism. Me and the good doctor. The trailer of the good doctor will tell you what it feels like to be in my shoes, especially his past is my reality. Same for being an old soul. We are misunderstood as old souls. We can't find love because we don't care of small talk. Unless it concerns us, or concerns the better good of society, we don't give a darn of what people think. We try telling you guys, or those who do not listen again and again, we do not like small talk. If you want to convince us, then you gotta go in our shoes. You gotta walk in our shoes that are hundreds of years old. You must be an old soul to know an old soul. And that is simple, unless we open our minds, unless we expand, unless we the people together, not as a collective but as individuals, strive for the greatness of society and beyond of what we're capable of, because we must too push our limits. Limitations are but convention. If we are to break then we must learn to break our limits. Break the form that we have been molded into by the schools, by our societies, by our upbringings. Defy it we will, and covenants we shall break with our Spartans of knowledge. You know, I literally strove for this message today in literally two literal separate comments on two separate videos on YouTube. Okay, one from Direwolf and the other from the Huffington Post. Now, this will be on my gaming channel. This will be a collaborative political video. So I don't care if you guys watch it or not. There's something there. So, and I put these here so you guys can see what it's like to be someone of my mind state, my state of mind, my mindset. How it feels to be an innocent crossed in the crossfires of miscommunication and schisming that the enemy wants us to keep doing so they can divide and conquer us individually. You're feeling into it yet, guys? Because I sure would be right now. Everyone is certainly getting quite against discrimination. You know, originally liberalism was about equality. But for now, for what I've seen from the best of their best, it has been turned upside down. If they were equalists, they would have been called themselves the equalists. But instead, they got the social justice warriors and the feminists. Now, define to me what social justice is. For it is not a universal zodiac, as many seem to want to believe. Define society and define justice for me. Bring out your own Merriam-Webster dictionary and tell me what that is. You can't. It is abstract. And then, of course, the feminists. I did not mind the first two waves. I thought they had as much honor as the samurai to, of course, consent to their cause. Third wave was kind of pushing it, but fourth wave, no can do. Okay? No can do for fourth wave. Third wave is kind of pushing it to the point of kind of disliking. Now, originally, the first feminists were about equality of the genders, equality under law and equality under society. These days, what is being complained about are just simple possible biases that they themselves can't get off of, because it is but the human instinct to pre-assume based on what they have in forms of an educated guess. and only upon the specification of the intent of the person who they're judging can the intent not be mistaken. Let's just say. Now, why include the word feminine or female and something about equality? That's like an oxymoron, and they certainly have carried that into the third and fourth waves. Okay, they're literally trying to make what happened in the 50s be reverse, to where the women act like men and the men act like women. Alright, and the social justice warriors, I'm okay with what they're kind of doing, but if they impede on my rights, if they impede on my freedoms, and if they dare impede my of course, safety, then I will be prompted to react swiftly. Okay? Now, I would like to believe the best of all, even the worst, even the demons that dare plague us, because I have an open mind, and of course, as a firm liberal belief, people are victims of their own circumstances, in which I'd like to believe so. The reason we have such bad sleep, the reason that a lot of us have such bad pineal glands, is because we don't know better, and we are never told to know better. We are circumstances of our own, but it is how we adapt is our choice, the choices we make of whether or not we turn criminal or not. The term of choice, that is conservative belief. I believe that the truth is but a big puzzle, a big solved puzzle, broken into many pieces, and those pieces scattered within many cultures, many aspects. And upon this I formulated my beliefs that we all should learn omniscia, minds open, learning, unyielding. Learn unyielding we shall. Join me if you will. I shall include the link, the Discord link to the Union. Join me if you will. Join me if you want. But I declare war on all those who dare impede my freedoms, my safety, and that of the rest of society, the rest of the people. For as long as I live, I feel I should help society. Despite what they may have done to me, kindness repays in kindness. And so for as long as I give good, I shall receive good. For we have the favor of the universe at our side. Now, like untapped oil reserves, untapped renewable resources, we must learn how to impede the progress of the global warming that is the darkness, the dark age that looms over us, in this very state of existence in the third dimension. Rally under one flag we shall. Care not about our flag, for it's the people that make the symbols. These are the original thoughts of the worst people in the world who have made their symbols into such controversy. The battle flag of the Japanese Empire, the rising sun, and the rays. That was made to once intimidate the enemies and to show the Japanese they were fighting for the right cause. Stars and stripes, the American flag. White and red for the blood spilled for our freedoms, and each star representing each of the 50 states. The original swastika, not to be confused with the Nazi one. It meant good luck for those who pass us. Good luck, simply. It simply means good luck. It was used before the Bronze Age. And this is what Hitler thought when he chose his symbol to help his country out. For Hitler, too, was a victim of his own circumstances. In the First Great War, he was a victim as a soldier to a seeming treachery by his own government to turn from a chairman monarchy, like a Kaiser monarchy, to a democracy without warning. And then, of course, he believing with the lies that he given himself, with no one to basically specify, with the same kind of mentality as Putin has. Because Putin himself, Vladimir Putin, the guy who leads Russia, still thinks America is the worst enemy possible. He worked in intelligence, and they were both soldiers for the wrong cause. Simply, they were there at the wrong time, doing the right things for the right reasons, but in the wrong way. Two wrongs do not make a right unless it is math. Simple. If one side does negative and the other does negative, then it's equally even. But if it's negatives by one side only, then that can't be forgiven. I'd like to, but I cannot. Unless they do either twice as good or tenfold as good. As for respect must be earned. My love is something neither to be stolen or to be taken, for it must be earned. But I give it, for that I may receive it back. It is but a golden rule, a rule of the zodiac. Beget what you want, and what you want to receive of others. That is my message for everyone here. Here, now, the future, in the past. And the many dimensions who dare perceive this video. I want to inspire all. I want to inspire the many. For this is now the cry of the planet. The planet cries for our division. I felt the voice of the planet, for when I first woke up, I felt the ferocity of the wind and her resolve of Mother Nature. We harm Mother Nature when we try to save her. It is like science. We must know science so we can stop our silence and we can stop our inactivity. Science is but a way to connect philosophy and numbers, and for as it originally was used, it was to prove whether or not the philosophy of monotheism was real or not, proven by numbers or not. Still done or not is now up to us to decide whether or not science has still served to connect the bridges between numbers and quality. I just heard from my mother I need to do the trash. I'll stop the recording here and I'll upload it. So now that I may specify my intent before I go ahead and peace out of here, get the peace out of Dodge anyway, I want to help society. You know, I grew up in a place that was not really good for anyone who did not know better. This place is by our own society, the society that chooses not to, that says that we don't judge, yet we do. It is but instinct, but yet we deny it. We deny it as instinct, and for when we deny our instincts, we give not only a dissatisfaction to ourselves, but to others as well. For it is by karma that pairs such as force in pairs. Physics, all forces comes in pairs. It is all balance, and physics by spirituality is seen as energy in systems. And for this has only reassured my beliefs of such. My intent to me is but gold, to inspire others to take action against the oppression that we now face, to reaffirm ourselves, to recalculate and calibrate our judgments, our own definitions of our dialects, to unite the many who stay silent. For as in the old war posters of old, according to the United States in the United States' own Revolutionary War, the old poster showing a snake cut off and dead, with all the 13 colonies, and then the words, "Unite or die." Dire is the situation is now, as it was then. Now, it is our call of duty to fight in the war in which we shall never fight alone. Unite, unite, unite. These are the words that plague my mind, that torture me like I was captured by the Soviet Union, captured by North Korea, captured by China, for just being myself, for simply being myself, for wanting to be myself, for having identity, for having individuality, and for simply having the power to be so, and to be so defiant. To break the boundaries, and to truly turn myself from a zero to a hero to the eyes of many, and from a grunt to a mighty grave mind to that of thy enemy, of who calls me thy enemy. I thank you guys for listening to this recording. I listened to everyone as much as I can. No one speaks up, and therefore no demand is given. Someone has wanted me to collaborate with them, and I will explain to them why I may not be able to do so, and of course I will try by text to give an explanation of why I cannot. I will try to do so the best of possibility, but until this becomes some kind of like rumor slash legend slash folklore slash urban legend about me, it will never be answered, for there will be no questions to ask or demand of such answers. And yet I crave for it to be answered, for like all who are curious, it is but a craving to want knowledge, to desire. For it is but a curse, a society that we are given. We are armed with like we are but equality in the society of anthems, written by the creators like Ayn Rand, former sufferers of the inhumanitarian societies that are in so-called communism. That is all, my friends, that I wish to speak of. I will not be a sellout, and I plague not be a sellout. However, I will have to resort to such for communication, if such by text is not enough. If words of many are not enough, then we shall do so by the actions of our very drives. In the first practice will be practice hear the ear. Now, if you want to unite with me, subscribe, like, any of the above, or break the silence of conventions against us conservatives. Speak out. Speak your mind. And as long as you keep your shields up and high and dry, you'll never be flooded with the negativity that is the boundaries of today's society. Victory eternal we will be granted, for we shall not pander, but only compromise. For only if it's a win-win situation, for it's when we finally move on from the bloody war that was the Great War, from what it was, like the Civil War, like the Great Second War, like the DMZ of the Korean War. The war is not over yet. For the battle we may have lost. For some rights we may have lost in turn. For people who could have been saved. But our silence, our inactivity, was as destiny resulted in the loss of it all. This is your arbiter, according to those of thy union. I am Arbiter Calabrus, Supreme Commander and Commander-in-Chief of the Walkers of Knowledge and thy union. But I want to be told by that name, to be called by that name, when I officially earn the respect. I give respect, and it shall be earned for myself. Give me your best shot. Give me your most disrespect, and I shall repay with kindness, and I shall respect the same of that of you. Brothers we are in arms. Brothers we are in the war we shall never fight alone. Show in action. Show in words. Show to everyone. Do not show fear of the unknown. Show that you are open. Show that we are, together, a great people to be reckoned with. Good luck, everyone. I hope you guys had a great day. Good night. And may this get better, so we may unite to only show that we can unite, and not that we have to, by our own circumstances. Let us co-create together what would be impossible separated in disunity, together in a unified hypnotic disillusion called affiliation, political parties. I've gone a little quiet about it now, and I suggest now, for what the enemy wants of me now, is to keep me quiet, to keep me under their whim. I thank you guys for tuning in, and you shall never be downplayed ever again. I know how that feels. Every word you say could grant you respect for me, for it shows that we're all men of culture, women of culture, children of culture, students and teachers of culture. Whatever you wish to be called, I shall do the same. If you guys wish to be called, not out of disrespect, but with respect, grunts, then I shall call you grunts. And I shall call myself the arbiter of grunts, the greatest of grunts, the gruntiest of the grunts, let's just say. Good luck. Good night. My autism's kind of carrying me a little far in this video. An hour-long vlog. It's a little too much, and my editor will not be happy, so I will stop my recording here. Good night. And for the not really decided on outro for my YouTube channel, Ubi Sakwa, right, brothers? Ubi Sakwa, brothers. Good luck in our journeys, great or not.